Hello everyone, welcome to P2 Plays, the place where we play card games, video games, and manager games. Well, the next set for the Digimon TCG is nearly here. EX Collection 2 Digital Hazard. Another side set for the card game, and a side set based on one of my favorite Digimon animes, Digimon Tamers, a much more dark anime, but I still loved it watching it. So I'm glad we get an entire set based on it. If you've never seen, this is about Gilmon, Renamon, Terriermon, and the Mother D Reaper with Justimon, Magna Angimon. So it's basically around all the Digimon that came in that series and their main characters as well. So anyways, let's start it off with the babies. We have Gigimon. When attacking once per turn, if the Digimon has Gilmon, Growlmon, or Galamon in its name, draw one card. Great baby to draw one if the above is either Gilmon, Growlmon, or Galamon. A great combo to do with this is the promo Gilmon, that when attacking you get to draw a card. I do know that when BT9 comes around, Yellow Hybrid will be using this baby and that promo Gilmon to make it like a red-yellow hybrid deck. So do be in the lookout for that. So I recommend picking this up now for the BT9 meta if you're looking to continue playing Yellow Hybrid. Then we have Xiaomon. While Digimon is level 4, it gets plus 1k DP. I kind of wish this was a level 4 or higher, get 1k DP, but nonetheless, sitting on level 4 isn't bad. This will buff you a lot of blue level 4s are 6k. This will also buff you up to 7, and then 5k level 4s will go up to 6k. So it gives it a little more buff to if you want to swing it over one of your opponent's Digimon or swing it over, swing it as security. A nicer chance for it to survive. Not that much matters. I mean, it's probably more for swinging over your opponent's Digimon and controlling board state more than swinging into security, since a lot of blue Digimon do have jamming. Then you have Pokemon. Your turn, once per turn. When you used an option card with use cost 2 or more, draw one card. So this is really nice. Anytime you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, you're just getting to draw a card for that. Really nice. We got Gummymon. Your turn, once per turn. When your opponent Digimon becomes suspended, draw one card. Really good, just new generic green baby. You can combo this with Shivamon from BT8 to get that extra draw for Shivamon. Really nice. Now I will say this, a lot of the babies do support a lot of the Digimon from this set. And then, like I said, with Gummymon, can be more generically used in their color. Hopmon. While you have a black tamer in play, the Digimon gets plus 1k DP. Really nice. A lot of decks need their tamers, especially memory tamers, to get them up to that 3 and keep them at 3 and not keep them at being choked. So this is really nice just to give that 1k buff on your turn to whatever Digimon is above this, unlike Xiaomon where it says only level 4. And then you have Yamon. Your turn, if you have 2 or more cards in your trash, this Digimon gets plus 2k DP. Again, this is very generic for purple, because purple is about milling and filling up your trash. This can work in any purple build if you want to get an extra 2k buff. So that's the babies. I think they're really good. Xiaomon's a little iffy. I do like the Pokemon. I think it's a little iffy. But the ones that really stand out are Gigimon for BT9, Gummymon for Shivamon, or really any green deck. Hopmon's really good if you want that extra buff, if you're going to play Tamers. And then Yamon it goes well with what purple does. But we do have a special baby. Yes, this is a baby. This does go in your raising area. This is the Mother D Reaper. This Digimon can't attack and can't be affected by your opponent's card effect. So basically, it doesn't die. Can't die. It can't be affected by anything, and basically, it can't attack either. So you have this 15k object that can't attack or be affected. Now, I will let you know that there is a way to change that by giving it Zubamon's final Zubamon Punch by playing a black package within Mother D Reaper. But again, Zubamon Punch doesn't actually give it. Yes, it gives an extra security attack, but you can't attack with it. You can't attack, but you can give it blocker. So you can turn it into, I think, a 17 or 18k blocker. So it's a big, it will be a big blocker. Main, once per turn, if you don't have Mother D Reaper in play, place one of your ADR-02 equals Searcher. So I'm just going to call him Searcher. because they all have like crazy names, all the D Reaper cards in play, or one of your in play, or one of your searcher in your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digi-Evolution card. So basically every turn you're basically bringing out a searcher, putting it under the Mother D Reaper, or you're starting the game and bringing up a Mother D Reaper and then immediately putting it under there. So you can put it from hand or field, but you're going to put it from the field because we're going to see searcher is actually a draw, on play draw, so you want to make sure you want to play him. And then your turn, once per turn, when your Digimon with D Reaper in its trait would be played from your hand, you can reduce the play cost of that Digimon by 1 for each Digi-Evolution card this Digimon has. So everything under the D Reaper, everything from the searcher to everything we'll see, all has D Reaper under it, so it's all going to get reduced. Its play cost is all going to get reduced by how many searchers you have under the Mother. So, really cool. Without a doubt, this is the deck I'm most excited about to play for the set is Mother D Reaper. By the way, Mother D Reaper's highest rarity is a rare in the entire set. That means you can complete the entire deck with just having it rare. Now, you'll see later on the searcher is up to 50 searchers per your deck, so you're going to have lots of searchers, but, I mean, you don't have to get any super rares or anything like that. Rare is the highest rarity the D Reaper deck goes. And this is a house of a deck. I'm going to say right now, a lot of these decks won't change the meta. The Terriermons are very interesting. I think they can come in and do more green shenanigans. Guilmon's okay for my scene. I don't think Sakuyamon even blew up much in the Japanese format. Neither did Guilmon. But Mother D Reaper definitely blew up in the meta. And it's just because of how just powerful it is and kind of how you want to build it too. Like I said, the Black Engine, using like Izzy Joe to gain that extra 2 memory if your opponent has more guys than you do, which they normally will, and then basically being able to reduce your play cost of your D Reapers, or any card with D Reaper in its trait. So that's the babies. Like I said, they support, a lot of time they support the stuff that comes out of the set. Some can support generically as well, but overall, really nice babies. Now we're going to move into red, and we're going to start off with red with good old Guilmon. All right, on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add a card with Growlmon or Galamon in its name and one Takota Matasuki, basically Guilmon's Tamer, to your hand. Place remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Really nice. Again, we're seeing a lot of these Pacific Searcher cards where it's you can search out certain cards and then probably a Tamer, which is really nice because you need, I believe, the Tamer to really support the new Guilmon build, as we'll read for Takota later. So then, inheritable. When attacking once per turn, if the Digimon has Growlmon or Galamon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. The 3k doesn't really come up a lot. Again, it's on only rookies, but if your opponent's going rookie rush style right now on you, it's really nice. Overall, just a good searcher for a 3 cost to search your deck for your pieces so that you can constantly get moving through your deck and seeing what you need to see. We have Growlmon. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 2k DP or less. That's not very good. There's very little Digimon with 2k or less. If you have a red Tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4k DP or less instead. So it does get a little better as long as you have a red Tamer. It's not that you need a Takota in play. It's just any red Tamer. That's really nice. Again, 4k isn't great. There aren't a lot of Digimon that are 4k, except for rookies and a minor few amount of champions. So it's still not a great when attacking effect. And when attacking once per turn inheritable, if this Digimon has Growlmon or Galamon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. Again, not very great. So it's an okay level 4. Now we have War Growlmon. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4k DP or less. If you have a red Tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6k DP or less. That I actually like way more than what Growlmon did. I think that, again, just having a red Tamer in play and basically being able to delete any 6k or less feels a little better, since a lot of you can find champion through rookie and then a few ultimates. Very few ultimates, but champion through rookie is really nice. And then your turn, the maximum DP of your effects that delete is increased by 1k DP. So that's really nice. They're basically saying that if you say delete a Digimon that's 3k, now it's deleting by 4k. So basically it can increase these up here as well to this Guilmon and this Growlmon to basically give them up to 4k. Then we have a Gallantmon. Your turn, this Digimon gets plus 2k DP. Really nice, so it's buff itself all the way up to 14. Your turn, while you have a red tamer in play, the maximum DP of effects that delete Digimon increase by 2k. So now you're basically adding it. So here we go. So now we can delete, we increase it by 1000. So now these are up to 4k, and then they'll increase to 6. So this is really nice. So as long as you combo this whole line together with this Gallantmon, that's really nice, because now you're going to delete stuff that is 6k or less when attacking. And when attacking, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon, the total DP that adds up to 6k or less, and delete them. Again, it's much like Atomic Blaster did, but I think that was 8k, so it's 2k less. But again, it's a really nice Atomic Blaster effect, again, to kind of clear board presence with, of course, buffing up the... actually, no, it'd be 8k thanks to this effect, and then it'd be 9k because of War Growlmon. So it could be all the way up to 9k. And again, it's total DP that adds up to 9k. Naturally, it will be up to 8k because of Gallantmon's ability. And then finally, for the last red, it's a red-purple Meigigdramon. This card/Digimon is also treated as Chaos Gallantmon, again for the Chaos Gallantmon lines. It was the same as this last Meigigdramon. He was treated as Chaos Gallantmon as well. When Digivolve, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10k DP or less. I really like that. That's all ultimates down and some megas. If this effect does not delete a Digimon, trash top 5 cards of your both players' decks. On deletion, you may play one Guilmon and one Takota from your hand or trash without paying their memory costs. So I do like this on deletion effect. That's really nice. And again, it's another card about milling, but it's another one of those engines where I have questions about milling myself 5 cards deeper into my deck. But I don't mind it because I am trashing 5 cards from my opponent as well. Now, I would like this to delete something rather than trashing 5, but there are uses of trashing 5 cards that does dig your opponent 5 cards deeper into their deck and does remove some of maybe important materials or cards that they're looking for to use. So it could be very useful. Also, it gives you a chance is if you can play this, and then if you don't happen to delete something and say your opponent's on 5 or 6 cards, and you know for a fact you'll survive, even if survive by the time they go to deck out, you could do this. I did deck out someone with Creepymon. So yeah, it's a really nice effect there. I still don't like the self-mill to mill my opponent, but again, we're seeing the concepts of mill come into the card game. So this is really nice if you're looking for more of adding maybe Creepymon, doing more of a Creepymon Meigigdramon build. Again, kind of push that milling in that mill engine on your opponent, milling their cards so that they can get closer to deck out, maybe milling important stuff they need. Because again, not a lot of decks have an ability to put stuff back under their deck. Like Susanamon can put 10 hybrids or tamers on the bottom of their deck to play the Susanamon. So it does add 10 more cards to their deck. But again, not many decks you have a way to recycle cards from their trash back into their deck. So deck out is very much a strategy in this game, and I think Creepymon and Meigigdramon do give that strategy a little bit more power. Just do be very cautious that this is a mill 5 of yourself, and Creepymon's a mill 3 of yourself. Or mill 2 per Digimon your opponent has. But I mean, you can still play Creepymon if your opponent has no Digivolve the Creepymon with no Digimon, so you don't have to mill. That's a thing. So red overall is just buffed to Guilmon. A whole new line of Guilmon and Gallantmon strategy with Meigigdramon being a new card for Chaos Gallantmon or even just a mill strategy. So overall, really cool stuff for Gallantmon. Now we move on to blue. We have Labramon. When attacking once per turn, Digimon has jamming, gain 1 memory. Really nice. A lot of blue Digimon have jamming, so this is a great inheritable effect. We have Ice Devimon. When attacking, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon with no Digi-Evolution cards to its owner's hand. Again, throwing this right into that blue hybrid build just again to stun level 4s, even return them back, resetting your opponent's board state. Not a bad card. Again, I would say put this into the blue hybrid stun builds, and not bad. You have Caesaramon, and he just has jamming. Well, there you go, everyone. Put the Caesaramon right over the Labramon, and you have a nice combination there. We got a Gorillamon on play. You may play one level 3 Digimon from one of your blue Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards without paying its cost. Again, this is really nice if you want to combo with the Metal Garurumon to swing Metal Garurumon, play this out thanks to Metal Garurumon's effect, and then you get to play a level 3 out. Again, we have that Gomamon that when played from Digi-Evolution sources gets to draw you 2 cards. Really nice card there. And then we have Leomon. Opponent's turn, while you have a Tamer in play, the Digimon gains blocker. Really nice. Blue's going to have a multitude of Tamers. Davis being their main primary memory Tamer. You could play the new TK from BT8. That's when one of your blue Digimon's attacked, you can tap it to draw a card. And of course, this actually forces that Tamer because you'll have blocker. So that actually does force the attack to come onto you. And then on deletion, just like every other Leomon in the entirety of the game, gain 2 memory, but this time you get to draw a card. Digimon just loves telling us that the Leomon should die every time. But anyways, blue is very, very small here. Oh, I thought we were done, but no, we have a dual color blue, yellow, marine, and Gmon. On play, for each of your opponent's Digimon without Digi-Evolution cards, recover 1. +1 deck. I don't know what +1 deck is. Well, I think it's saying cover 1 from your deck. Your security cannot become 6 or more by this effect. So this is very interesting. This is probably the first time we've seen something state your security can't go overboard. But it makes complete sense. If you were to stick this in blue hybrid and then just slap it down on play in blue hybrid and say your opponent had 4 Digimon without sources and say you were only at say you were at 4 security, you'd be up to 8 already security protecting yourself. I like that Digimon's realizing kind of how broken over security is without really saying, well, we're going to fix the security issue, maybe put a rule in place that says you can't go past 6 with recovery effects. But this is really nice. I think it also makes sense because the fact is you could put this in like a yellow-blue variant that strips sources but also recovers, and then just slap this down. Say you're at 5, your opponent has 4, you've now ended up at 9 security for playing down 11 cost Digimon. I still think it's really cool. This is not a bad card to play if you're in blue hybrid and you don't actually have a way to recover. Now you actually have a way to continually recover and throw a 11k DP beat stick at your opponent. Again, blue doesn't have really a problem with recovering for memory, timer sparks and stuff, but 11 cost is a little high for it, but when you can basically recover yourself up to 6 cards is not bad. Overall, the blue package, I think that's it's really nice. The Labramon's really good for anything with jamming. Ice Devimon's good for if you want to continue to do stun, blue hybrid builds. The jamming on Caesaramon's nice. Gorillamon can combo with Metal Garurumon. And Leomon pretty much is just Leomon. A really good card to actually now trigger that TK from BT8. And then Marine Angimon's, it's really good. If it didn't have the limit on it, it'd be pretty much broken. In my opinion, it'd be pretty much broken. Now you're going to see there aren't a lot of Digimon in this set. There are only 72 cards in the entirety of Digital Hazard. So it's a very, very small set. As you can see, we've already just passed blue and red. So now we're going to move into yellow with Renamon. On play reveal for cards to the top of your deck, add 1 card with Cubimon, Taomon, or Sakuyamon in its name, and 1 Rika, Nonoka to your hand. Remaining cards bottom of your deck. Again, just much like what Guilmon did, but I believe Guilmon only allowed you to look for Growlmon and Galamon. It didn't actually... Oh, no, wait, because it's War Growlmon. Right. Okay, so yeah. Actually, the Guilmon searches all 3 pieces because War Growlmon is a Growlmon. It's Growlmon in the name. So you can even search out Chaos Galamon, but Chaos Galamon can't go over a red. So this searches out all 3 of its pieces. So that's really nice. Being able to search out all 3 of the pieces you need and adding 1 plus getting your Tamer. Again, you need the Tamer to do a lot of effects. But when you use an option card with a memory cost of 2 or more, gain 1 memory. So basically, you're lowering the memory cost of any option by 1, thanks to this Renamon. I think that's a really, really nice effect, especially for yellow to reduce a lot of their cost of their option cards. I could definitely see this going some places if people wanted to utilize that effect to reduce the cost of options by 1. Again, it doesn't reduce the cost, but what I mean by it is that you play the option, you pay the full cost, but then you gain 1 memory for it. So basically, in essence, you reduce the cost by 1. We got Lopmon. On play, if you have 3 or fewer security cards and you have a Suzy Wong in play, recover 1. So this is mostly to go with Suzy. That was Lopmon's Tamer in the anime, and then Lopmon could warp Digivolve into Ankylamon. But I do like its recovery 1, but it's a little strict of a recovery 1 because you need Suzy Wong out there to get this recovery. But still, for 3 costs to recover, as long as you're at 3 or fewer and you have the Tamer out, that's not bad. It's a little niche because, again, you have to have the Tamer out and this card together. We have Cubimon. When Digivolve, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 option card with plugin in its name among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck and ignore. So what plugins we'll see is, like, in the anime, to do Digivolving or to give effects, they would Digimodify. So they'd swipe the card across their Digivices, and that would modify their Digimon by an effect. So that's kind of what these plugins are that we're seeing, that we'll see when we get down to the options. Your turn once per turn, when you use an option card with a use cost of 2 or more, 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets -2k DP, so that's really nice. Again, just more yellow DP reduction ability. And we have Ankylamon. While you have Suzy Wong in play, your Lopmon can Digivolve into this card in your hand for a memory cost of 3, ignoring Digi-Evolution requirements. When attacking once per turn by trashing the top card of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon. I kind of actually like that. It shows to the anime about how Lopmon can warp Digivolve into Ankylamon. I think it's pretty cool. Again, it's a little niche. It's got a heavy requirement because the only way it does that is if you have Suzy Wong in play. Otherwise, you have to go up to level 4 and then level 5. But if you do, it's not bad to actually have a play cost of 3 to go from a rookie to a champ to an ultimate already, and then not mentioning swinging, trashing top of your security stack so that you can unspend, so getting 2 swings. So you could take 1 swing at security, and then restand, and then swing at your opponent's Digimon. So you could do it that way, or even just claim a couple of Digimon. But, again, do be cautious that it does have a pretty steep requirement that you must be playing this specific Tamer to use this specific effect. Otherwise, you could just Digivolve it up and then use the trashing effect, which is not bad. Now we have Taomon. When Digivolve, you may play a Rika Nakoa from your hand without paying its memory cost. I like that. Again, if you wanted to hold the Rika in your hand for a little while until you got up to Taomon, and then play that to basically play the Tamer out for free, practically for free, is really nice. Your turn once per turn, when you use an option card use 2 costs or more, 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets -2k DP. So combo this with the Cubimon, and you're going to minus something by 4k DP, which is not bad at all. And then you have Sakuyamon. When Digivolving, unsuspend 1 of your Digimon for each Tamer you have. Return 1 option card with plugin in its name from your trash to your hand. So that's really nice. I like that ability to unsuspend 1 of your Digimon and unspend 1 of your Digimon. And for each Tamer you have, return your option card. So you could basically play the Sakuyamon just for the unsuspend 1 of your Digimon. So you could swing with, say, like that Taomon, and then Digivolve it into Sakuyamon to unsuspend it, which is really nice. Again, you do as much of the effect as possible in Digimon, so you could just do this unspend one Digimon and then completely ignore the plugin part of it. And then your turn, when you use an option card with use a 2 cost or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3k DP for the turn, and then combo that with the other 4. So you're basically negging a Digimon by 7k. Now remember, you can choose where all these negs go. So you could put minus 2k on this Digimon, minus 2k on that Digimon, minus 3k on this Digimon, and then kind of just spread it out. Like, here's a rookie that's only 2k, and you can delete that with that. Or a rookie with 3k, delete with that, or send the 4k over here. So it's very interesting that you can kind of play around with giving DP debuffs on your opponent's Digimon. So just something to look out for. Overall, the yellow is really cool. The Lopmon and Ankylamon are reliant on a Pacific Tamer, and the Renamon I think is actually really nice. I think a lot of decks can utilize that Renamon as much as is the Kubimon, Taomon, and Sakuyamon effects. I think overall, not a bad line for Lopmon and Sakuyamon. Now we have Terriermon. Your turn once per turn when you play a Green Tamer, gain 1 memory. Downright just great. This is generic, by the way, so as long any deck can play this, playing down a Green Tamer basically gives you another memory. Really nice. Your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 2k DP for the turn. Really nice. We got the green option card in BT 8 that can rest one of your Digimon, the rest one of your opponent's Digimon. Or we can do a lot of what we have before. Mega Gargomon rests your opponent's Digimon. There's lots of green things that rest your opponent's Digimon. So just a nice buff to give yourself for resting your opponent's Digimon. We got Gargomon. Your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a Green Tamer in play, reduce the memory cost of the Digievolution by 1. So that's really nice. Having just out a Green Tamer like Mimi, because a lot of decks, or like Willis, a very good Green Tamer for this deck because of Willis's effect on Terriermons and Gargomons, and Rapidmons. Basically the Terriermon line. This is really good. This basically turns him into a 1 cost to Digivolve. Very strong. And your turn, once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, again, just another nice 2k buff. So 4k if you combo these two together. We got Rapidmon. I actually do like this art of it firing out the missile with the little face on it. When Digivolve, you have Green Tamer plays to spend one of your opponent's Digimon. Congratulations, look at that. You're already going to get that 4k buff from Terriermon and Gargomon if it's over this Rapidmon, because of Rapidmon's effect. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. That's really nice. So basically, you're giving yourself a 4k buff with the Terriermon and Rapidmon, and then you're going to get an extra security attack. Terriermon, Gargomon, and an extra security attack from Rapidmon. Very strong combo line right there. Then we have Parsiamon. And the attack, you may place this Digimon at the bottom of one of your Digimon's Digi-Evolution sources. Okay? And then it's going to get security attack +1, just generic. And then Digimon gets plus 2k DP. That's a very strong card. Again, it is a level 6, so it means you'd have to Digivolve up to it or hard play it. But, I mean, for Lily being able to take this guy and basically slot him under any one of your dudes and then give it an extra security attack and an extra 2k buff, that's actually not bad, especially if you combo that with Rapidmon, you're basically getting a +2 security attack there. Now we have Mega Gargomon. When Digivolve, spend one of your opponent's Digimon for each Green Tamer you have in play. Very strong effect there. Again, combos with Terriermon, Gargomon, and Rapidmon. Those Digimon do not unspend during your opponent's next unspend phase. Very strong effect right there. Very strong effect. Just because of the ability that they don't unsuspend. So you can basically, it does now have to suspend. So if your opponent already has a Digimon suspended, you're not going to be able to suspend that because it's already considered suspended. But if they Digivolve up a line and don't swing with it, then you can summon out the Gargomon, suspend that, and then you can't then swing with that line because any Digimon that also Digivolves over it will be considered suspended as well. So just something to think about. It's very strong for controlling your board state and keeping your opponent unable to restand and swing with those Digimon, giving you another turn to go through your deck and try to win the game. When attacking once per turn, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with DP less than this Digimon to its owner's hand. So anything 12k or less just gets spun back to your hand. So really nice to spin back level 6s down and just spin them back. It's more fun with like level 6s that are 12k because that removes a whole stack of Digimon that goes into your opponent's trash. So I do like this Mega Gargomon. Green overall, it's Terriermon. That's all green is right. All this green set right now was Terriermon, and I think it's a very strong Terriermon collection. If you really want to play Terriermon, then I think this is it for you. I think the Passeramon is a little iffy if you want to play it, but I think if you can Digivolve up the line and stick it under a line, someone with Rapidmon, then I think you're pretty swell on that. Not mentioned, we still have hidden potential discovered to reduce costs. And it is only 3 costs to Digivolve, so it's not bad. 11k, and I mean, it does get to swing, it dies, and basically slots under and basically gives you an extra security attack to whatever you want. So, not bad. Green, I like green. I definitely will be looking into this Terriermon deck. Now we have black with Monodramon. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add all black Tamer cards among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Very strong card. You could put this in currently X Antibody before we get all the X Antibody support so that you can put in all those Tamers, their Tamers, their Kotas and their Yugis to your hand so you have those for X Antibody. Not a bad card there. Pretty much any deck that has a lot of black Tamers, not a bad deck. Not a bad card. We got Gardromon, blocker, so it's blocker, but this blocker can actually attack, unlike the other Gardromon, which basically stated it can't actually attack. And that Gardromon was a 6k blocker. On play, one of your Digimon gets plus 3k DP into the end of your until the next time your opponent turn ends. Okay, basically, I believe what that says is until your opponent's next turn. So basically, you could hard play this down for 5 and then give him an extra 3k buff because it's one of your Digimon gets a 3k, not one of your other Digimon gets a 3k. So he can give himself this 3k buffs, putting up to a 7k blocker. For 5 costs, But you could, I could see you could do it. But I kind of wish it wasn't on play and maybe on Digivolve. On play for 5 costs just doesn't seem all that great, especially if you're putting your opponent at 5 or around 3. Because a lot of times you want to choke your opponent until they see their memory tamer. Now we have Strike Dramon. When Digivolving, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 black tamer card among them in your hand. Place remaining cards on the deck. Wow, this Mono Dramon line really loves to add tamers, black tamers. When attacking once per turn, if you have 2 or more black tamers in play, gain 1 memory. That's not bad, especially since Monodramon and Strike Dramon are all about searching out and grabbing all your tamers that you need. So, interesting there. We got Locomon. Your turn. When this Digimon would Digivolve into Grand Locomon in your hand, reduces the cost by 1. So not bad. So basically turns the level 6 into a 2 cost to Digivolve. We got Andromon. He is a blocker. And opponent's turn, all Digimon with blocker gain plus 2k DP. Really nice. You can combo this with the tie that gives all Digimon in your turn an extra 1k buff. So you can combo that so that you get even more buffs. Again, black is very strong with blockers. Again, do be mindful that black still isn't very strong. Still is not all that strong because a lot of decks can still exploit its problems. But I will let you know, when we reach BT9, black will be the meta because of X Antibody. So don't go sleeping on black because black is meta next set. Then we have Cyberdramon. When Digivolve, may play run Ryo Akiyawa from your hand without paying its memory cost. That's the main tamer that then goes into Justimon. And then your turn, while you don't have a tamer play, Digimon can't attack players. So that kind of sucks, but I mean, as much as we've seen with Monochromon and Strike Dramon, you're going to get yourself a tamer. So, yeah. And then when attacking once per turn, if you have 2 or more tamers in play, one of your opponent's Digimon D-Digivolve 1. So that's actually really nice. I do like that D-Digivolve 1. As long as you have 2 or more black tamers in play, just D-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. That's really strong. It's a good way to remove level 6s, level 5s, and basically push them to have those copies again. Especially since a lot of decks might only play maybe 1 or 2 of that specific level 6 or level 5. So, very strong effect there, I like. Now we have Grand Locomon. Your turn, Digimon can't attack your opponent's Digimon. Okay, that's great. This Digimon gets plus 1k DP for each card with Cyborg or Machine in its trait in your trash. So I guess you could throw this into Machine Dramon. He is a machine. And I guess maybe Machine Dramon can play him. I don't like that he can't attack your opponent's Digimon, because a lot of times you want to control board state. But I mean, for 11k that can get buffed up to bigger numbers, not bad, but not great either. And then we have Reapermon. It's got Reboot, really strong. Another thing that black has really good for it is Reboot. Opponent's turn, once per turn. When your opponent's Digimon is unsuspended, D-Digivolve 1. Okay, so basically when they go through their unsuspend phase, that triggers. Wow, that's actually really good. I'm not going to lie, that's really good. When your opponent's Digimon's unsuspended. Yeah. Yeah, wow, that's actually really good. When your opponent's Digimon is unsuspended, yeah. Wow. So that basically just says you unsuspend on your unsuspend phase. Just D-Digivolve 1, all of them. Again, you can't D-Digivolve past level 3, but very strong card. Very strong card. I think it's very niche, but not a bad card. Because unsuspend phase is part of the game. And this doesn't say other than unsuspend phase. So whenever they unsuspend, so it has to be on that unsuspend phase. Also, it hurts a lot of decks that like to unsuspend themselves as well. So, if Digimon could move into side decks, I think this would be a really strong side deck card for black. And then we have Justimon Blitzarm. When Digivolving, activate one of the following effects. Digimon gets plus 2k DP for turn. Unsuspend this Digimon. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. Then when attacking once per turn, activate this Digimon's when Digivolving effect for each tamer you have in play. Okay, that's really cool. So basically you can activate this multiple times. So if you have 3 tamers, you activate this 3 times. Because activate this Digimon's when Digivolving effect for each tamer in play. So this really gives you a reason to play a lot of black tamers. So that you can continually get this plus 2k, unspend this Digimon, or delete one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's only a once per turn, but you could use all these together. So if you have 3 of these 3 tamers out, you can win attack, gain a 2k buff, unsuspend, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. Probably not going to delete a lot of Digimon, but the 2k and unsuspend, that's not bad. And not mentioning you can, when Digivolve, give yourself that extra 2k buff, so you'll be at 13, and then when you attack, trigger this again to be at 15. That's really cool. Black overall, I still think it's a little niche on its things. We see here that this whole niche line is about tamer spamming, as we can see from Mono Dramon, Strike Dramon, and Cyber Dramon. We got some neat little extra cards, I think, like Reapermon, like I said, is a really good side deck card. If you wanted to tech it as a choice, I think it'd be a really cool one, but don't over-tech it. I think put it like as a 2 of. But yeah, black still is okay in my opinion. Like I said, BT9 is when black will explode to tier 1, thanks to X Antibody. Now we're moving on to the purple. We got Impmon. When this card is trashed from your deck, if it wasn't trashed by this specific Impmon's effect, this Impmon, I guess I should say, you may trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Oh, good. I may trash more of my deck, but my choice. At least I get to choose if I want to trash stuff. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon with Beelzemon in its name, or one I and Mako Ai and Mako card from among them to your hand. Place remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And then your turn when this wild Digimon has Beelzemon in its name plus 3k DP. So I do like this because you can now go back to the Special Booster 1 Beelzemon and get that as well, because it's Beelzemon. You can get the new Beelzemon that's in this set, but you can also still get the extra booster Beelzemon as well. So just something to think about there. And I do like that it's an and or, so you don't have to get a Beelzemon and the Tamer. You can get a Beelzemon or a Tamer, or you can get both, as I thought some of the hybrid cards that came out in BT7 should have been, and or. All right, so really cool Impmon. It's very interesting about when this card is trashed from your deck. If it wasn't trashed by this specific Impmon's effect, you may trash top 3 cards of your deck, which is really nice if you want to get to that 10 to start doing buffs and stuff like that. Heck, even Beelstarmon can use this Impmon to trash it and then trash 3 more cards so it can dig a little further into its deck so that it can see its option cards, so you can summon out Beelstarmons practically for free. But really neat card. I like it for grabbing Beelzemon and the Tamer. We got Digimon. It's got Retaliation. That's really nice. I still think Retaliation is very strong, especially for if your opponent puts a big high-level dude and has suspended, then just retaliate it and kill it off. Sure, it kills off your guy, but I still think Retaliation is a very strong thing people should not sleep on. And when attack, you may trash 2 cards on the top of your deck. Again, self-mill, I don't like it, but like I said, I think Purple's trying to do this self-mill to gain other effects, so we'll have to see how it evolves. But as of right now, with what we got from BT8 and what we're getting here, I'm still not so much into it. We got Doberman. While you have Alice McCoy card in play, when playing this card from your hand, reduce its play cost by 2. So basically, turning into a 3 cost for a level 4 is not bad. On deletion, trash top 3 cards your deck, then return 1 purple Digimon card or purple Tamer card from your trash to your hand. Really strong card there. I think you could put this in the Malamyotismon to trigger so that you can get back the Malamyotismon Tamer, or even a Malamyotismon or any Myotismons you're looking for. So do consider that. And by the way, the Alice McCoy, we're going to talk about that card. That's a very strong purple card. I think a lot of decks might try to utilize it because of how good the effect is. We got Mesfamon. On play, draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards from your hand. Not bad. That is oh, this is on play for 7 cost. I still think that's really good. It's a draw 2, trash 2. I think that's a very, very strong. And 7 cost's not bad. Even being at like 3 and playing them out for 7, does put your opponent at 4. So, I mean, even if they have a Memory Tamer, that just puts them a 1 above their Memory Tamer. When attacking once per turn by discarding 1 card from your hand, gain 1 memory. And that's not bad either. That's actually not a bad card. Not a bad card. It's Lady Devimon, but on play. Then we have Golfmon. When Digimon, both players trash cards from their hand until they have 5 cards in their hand. Whoa, wow, okay, well, if you're playing a deck that likes to, has big hands, because again, Digimon does not have a hand size. So this is very strong to saying now you have a hand size when I Digivolve this, which is very strong. With a lot of decks being able to draw and draw and draw and draw and get these giant hands that they'll be able to play through a lot of your stuff like option card, Digimon, and get what they want. It's very strong to reduce that down to 5 cards. Very strong. Again, I think this would be better as a side deck card, but if you wanted to put it as a weird niche choice, that's pretty cool. But again, it's only a niche choice if you know for a fact you're playing a deck that's going to be able to draw a lot of cards. Your turn, once per turn, when you trash cards in your hand with your own effect, you may unsuspend 1 of your Digimon. That's actually really neat. So basically, you can Digivolve this guy, use his effect, and then basically you'll be able to unspin someone. So, really cool. Now we have Beelzemon. When this card is trashed from your deck, you may play 1 Impmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. By the way, that's any Impmon. Doesn't matter what it is. You could play the Impmon that was from BT6. You could play the Impmon from Special Booster, whatever, 1 or 2, and then you could play the new Impmon. And then when Digivolving, when attacking, you may trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. That's okay. And then for every 10 cards you trash, add the maximum level of the Digimon you can choose with this effect. So basically, 10 cards moves it up to level 4, which is not bad. 20 cards moves it up to level 5. So it does, I like that it's on the levels instead of like a play cost or anything like that. So it is nice. But again, it's for every 10 cards. The maximum amount of cards you're probably going to have at any one time is 20. So you'll be able to delete level 5s with this when Digivolving and when attacking. And by the way, this is a when Digivolving, when attacking that is not once per turn. So this can trigger when you Digivolve him and then when you attack him that same turn. So there is a reason for trashing cards to trigger this Beelzemon's effect. And then not mentioning that if he gets trashed, you can then play any one of your Impmons. So not a bad card. I could see you playing Beelstarmon with this Beelzemon and that Imp and the new Impmon to do this combo style deck that allows you to mill and see all these option cards, reducing your cost of your Beelstarmons and being able to use this Beelzemon to basically delete stuff with Beelstarmon. So a thought there. So overall, purple, not many cards, but not bad cards. I think the Mephismon has some play just because of that draw 2 trash 2. Beelzemon and the Impmon I think we'll see a lot more play. I think the others are okay. Like I said, Golfmon feels kind of niche. And Dobermon I think is actually can see some play and then everything. So I think it's okay for what we have for purple. Now moving on to white with Calomon. Now, Calomon, just so you know if you've never seen the anime, was how Guilmon, Terriermon, and Renamon were able to Digivolve. That was the only way they were able to Digivolve. After they got the card that allowed them to Digivolve. I think this is how they got to Ultimate, was with Calomon. I believe they also had to get the champion using him as well. And then, of course, oh my god. Well, the Tamer and the Digimon combined together to go to their Mega. When you play this card from your hand, if you have a Guilmon, Terriermon, Renamon, or Impmon and play the cost reduced. So basically, this guy can come out for free for 1 cost. This is a 1 cost dude as long as you have Guilmon, Terriermon, Renamon, or Impmon in play. Your turn, the Digimon can attack, but I don't think we want to attack with this, especially with this effect. Your turn. When your Digimon evolves by resting this Digimon, you gain 1 memory and draw a card. Until the end of the turn, one of your Digimon gets plus 3k DP. So this is really nice. And again, he can't really evolve, by the way, because he doesn't have a level. It's same with Mother D Reaper and all the D Reaper stuff. They do not have a level, so they do not have an ability to evolve or be evolved on because they don't have levels. I think this is really cool. You gain a memory and basically get to draw a card for Digivolving by resting him. Not a bad, especially if you want to play Guilmon, Terriermon, or Renamon, or Impmon decks. Now we move into the Mother D Reaper stuff, or the D Reapers. We have Searcher. Again, he is one. We only have Eosmon. I think is the only other card in the game that ignores the 4 requirement and allows you to play up. This allows you to play up to 50 copies. Now you will be playing a lot of copies of this card because this is the main card that combos with the Mother D Reaper, and then allows you to get the D Reaper, and then combos with the D Reaper. So you may include up to 50 copies of this card name. So basically you can include the entire deck of this guy, but you're not going to. When playing this card in your hand, if you don't have another Searcher in play, reduce this play cost by 2. So basically this is for 1. So if you start the turn and you have this in your hand, you slap this down for 1, leave your opponent at 1 memory. That's it. You hatch a Mother D Reaper, you play this for 1, you pass the turn, and then because on play, you get to draw a card for it. And then next turn, you bring up the Mother D Reaper, swap, and put the Searcher under the Mother D Reaper. Your turn, all your Digimon with D Reaper in its trait get plus 1k DP. And again, that does give the buff on the Mother D Reaper as well. So Mother D Reaper is already starting at 15. Because she does have D Reaper under her. So she's already 16k. Like I said, putting Final Zubamon Punch on her makes her a big blocker that I don't think any Digimon in the game can deal with. Not mentioning it's completely unaffected as well. So, big Digimon. Now we have Pendulum Feet. I am not going to say all of these letters over here. I'm going to call this Pendulum Feet. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon with D Reaper in its trait and 1 Searcher among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. Remember, all these guys over here are D Reaper. So if you wanted to, you could put 2 Searchers under hit for you because, again, the Searcher is considered D Reaper and it is a Searcher. So just a little thought there. We got Bubbles. Security, you may put 1 Searcher or 1 Searcher. You may put one of your Searcher or 1 Searcher from your hand as the bottom Digievolution card of one of your Mother D Reaper. I don't understand the concept of how that is written. Is it like a Searcher on the field? I bet that's supposed to be Searcher on the field and Searcher from your hand at the bottom of your Mother D Reaper and Security. On play, may put a Searcher or 1 Searcher from your hand as bottom of the Digievolution cards. I bet that's what it's supposed to write. I don't. Again, I'm on Digimon Card.dev, not the Digimon website, because the Digimon Card website doesn't have the full card list yet as of this recording. So I bet it's from either field or hand you can put on the bottom. Really strong. And again, the more searches you put onto the Mother D Reaper, the more ability these become free. Remember, you reduce the cost of all D Reapers by 1 for every searcher under the Mother. So if you have 3 searchers, this guy's for free, this guy's for free. Again, we'll read that. Your turn, once per turn. When your Digimon with D Reaper in its trait would be played from your hand, you can reduce the play cost of that Digimon by 1 for each Digimon. Now, you only get it once, so do be cautious on that. You only get it once, but, I mean, you do get for free 1 of these guys, or whatever, how many, you do get to reduce the play cost to however many searchers you have under the Mother. We got Jerry. Main, by suspending this Digimon, reveal top 5 cards of your deck. Place 1 Searcher from among them to the bottom of your Mother D Reaper's Digievolution source. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Again, because half of your majority of your deck is going to be Searchers, there's very little chance this Jerry will ever miss. But again, really strong card. By the way, this can trigger the turn it's played. So you can play out the Jerry, even though it has Summoning Sickness for attacking, you can still tap it to grab and look and search for and then immediately start the search. Again, your turn, all your D Reapers are also, when this attacks next turn, this is going to get buffed as well. So, oh, I thought that was all turns. No, it's your turn. Okay. So Mother D Reaper is only 15 on your, it's still 15 on your opponent's turn. Oh, bigger than, your Mother D Reaper is going to be large on your turn. Again, Final Zipmon Punch doesn't really matter. You're just turning it into a blocker anyways. Then we have Creep Hands, opponent's turn, where you have a Mother D Reaper in play, which you will, because you're only ever going to hatch 1 Mother D Reaper. The Digimon gains Blocker. Yeah. Not bad. I mean, every deck needs a blocker. Now we got Palette Hands, this creepy looking thing. Main, when you have Mother D Reaper, by suspending this Digimon, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. So, again, the more searchers you have under the Mother, the bigger this DP becomes. So, again, a lot more Digimon can die once you have more searchers under the Mother by Pellet Hands effect. We got Horn Striker. Your turn, while you have a Mother D Reaper in play, this Digimon gains Rush. Again, the turn it comes in, immediately attack. So not bad. If once you have, of course, 7 searchers under the Mother, that comes out for free and rushes immediately. On play and when attacking, once per turn, and this is Optimizer. If you control a Mother D Reaper with 5 or more Digievolution cards, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and play 1 Digimon card with D Reaper in its trait with a play cost of 10 or less from among them without paying its memory cost. Place remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Very nice effect there. I do like that, because you could put out like a Jerry, or you could put out this Creepy Hands, or you could put out the Gate. No, Gatekeeper is okay, so no, Gatekeeper is 11, so you can only do 10 or less with memory cost. So you could put another Optimizer, funny enough, because it doesn't stay other than Optimizer. So if you had this for free, you could put out an Optimizer to then go into a Horn Striker If you see a Horn Striker, then Horn Striker to swing and attack. Heck, even a Bubbles. Yeah, it's neat. Now, I know Mother D Reaper decks aren't playing it. I believe Mother D Reaper decks only are playing the Searcher, Pendulum Feet, Bubbles, Jerry. We're going to see the Gatekeeper, some play, Pallet Hands, and then, of course, the Reaper. So now we have the Gatekeeper. So, again, security. Play this card without battling and without paying its memory cost. So basically it just comes on the field. It's much like Zork Defeat, where it doesn't actually battle. When played, when you have a Mother D Reaper, recover 1. So again, if it comes out of security, plays, recovers itself it recovers basically itself. And then opponent's turn. When your Mother D Reaper has 6 Digi-Evolution sources or more, all your opponent's Digimon get security attack -1. That is a very strong effect right there, because that basically turns every Digimon into cannot hurt your sources. Now, yes, they can still swing at your Digimon, because that's completely different, but they can't attack your security. That's very strong. Put out multiples of these, and then you're going to have multiple negative security attacks that are constantly on your opponent's turn until they remove the Gatekeeper. This is what makes Mother D Reaper very strong. This card right here, Gatekeeper. And then we'll see with the D Reaper as well, but bringing a Gatekeeper out of security and having it there, and once you get up to that 6 on the Mother, you're basically very, very strong, because you're basically telling your opponent you're going to have to find a way to give yourself security, additional security, to remove that negative. Because again, all Digimon have a security attack of 1, so if you remove it, they have a security attack of 0. So if they want another security attack, they're going to have to get a +1 security attack on that Digimon. And a lot of decks have ways to add security attacks. So that's a very strong card. Very strong card. Not mentioning the recovery ability of it as well. Then we have the Reaper. Not D Reaper, it's Mother D Reaper, but then we have Reaper. When you would play this Digimon, you may trash 7 or more Digi-Evolution cards on the bottom of one of your Mother D Reapers. Reduce the Digimon's play cost to 0. So basically, 7 of the searchers off your Mother, he's for free. Otherwise, he's a play cost of 20, and I'm going to let you all know, the only way you can play this hardcast is if your opponent slaps you down on 10. That's the only way, because there's no physical way to reduce this play cost by anything. So that if you want the hardcast for some reason, you have to be at 10 and give your opponent 10 memory. Again, you can't give your opponent over. You can only go up to a maximum of 10. When attacking, you may place 2 searchers from your trash under this Digimon in any order. As the Digi-Evolution card says, unsuspend this Digimon. By the way, that's from your trash. So say, for instance, your opponent swings into your security, they see 2 searchers, and those go to your trash. Those get picked back up when the Reaper attacks. When the Reaper attacks, and those get to be slotted right under the Reaper. So if you remove, say, 7 sources, you're going to get 3 attacks from this Reaper. And not mentioning that you will be building up a board presence with Pendulum Feats, Bubbles, and Jerry's, and Platinum Hands, and then Gatekeepers. You're going to build up this board presence, because again, once per turn, you are capable of just simply playing out any one of these guys for a reduced play cost of how many searchers are under the Mother. So basically, you're just swinging, chipping off some security, and then slapping down the Reaper, swinging in that turn and putting under those searchers, and swinging and tearing apart the last of your opponent's security. This card right here, and like I said, this is a rare. Mother D Reaper is a rare, and I think all these are like common, uncommon. So if you're looking for a very strong deck to move in from Digital Hazard and BTA Digital Hazard, Mother D Reaper is a strong contender. Because, again, Blue Hybrid's very good, but Blue Hybrid's not going to want to remove a bunch of searchers under you. Because, again, as you can continue to put the searchers under your Mother, and then if there's so many in your searchers, once you hit the 7 requirement, you remove them, Reaper, you take all those searchers, and start slotting them under you. So the Reaper's just going to swing a whole bunch. So very strong against Blue right now, because of the fact is Blue's not going to want to remove a bunch of searchers under the Mother, because then I'm just going to slot more searchers under it. And once I hit the 7, those searchers in my trash, get to come and help this Reaper. Because it's not just the ones under your mother. It's any searcher in your trash. Very, very strong. I love it. I love Mother D Reaper. This is going to be my... I'm hyped to play some Mother D Reaper for BT8 EX Collection 2. So now we move on to the Tamers. We have Takota Matasuki. Your turn, when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, you may suspend this Digimon to gain 1 memory. Really nice. Again, this is just whenever an opponent's Digimon is deleted, whether it's by card effect or by battle, you could just tap it to gain a memory. Not bad. A lot of red decks could utilize this effect. And your turn, when your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon with Gallantmon or Growlmon in its name, it gains when Digivolving Blitz. So that's really nice. Dakota is able to give Gallantmon and Growlmon and War Growlmon Blitz, which is really nice. Especially if, say for instance, your opponent thinks they're safe, but you Digivolve into Gallantmon or Growlmon, and basically then you gain Blitz. So then you can swing in for game. Again, Blitz is very strong. And again, almost all the Tamers have in some form or another. You can play this card without paying its memory cost from security. We got Kitagawa. Your turn, when you play Marine Angemon from your hand, reduce the play cost by 1. So congratulations, you can make Marine Angemon a 10 cost. That's about it. Your turn, when your blue Digimon is played, you may spend this Tamer to trash the bottom Digievolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if that Digimon that played was Marine Angemon, trash the bottom Digievolution cards of all of your opponent's Digimon. Now that's a very strong combo right there. I think maybe if you wanted to play this in Blue Hybrid, that's not a bad idea. Again, Blue Hybrid, being that Blue has so many opportunities for memory gain, that you can play Marine Angemon in the deck and again give yourself an ability to recover. And this isn't half bad, because again, it's about removing sources and continuing to do that Blue Hybrid stun engine. But that's really about it. I don't like it. Again, the Marine Angemon play is really nice because then you can remove a bunch of stuff, but yeah, I'm not too much into it. We got Jerry on play. You may play 1 Leomon in your hand without paying its memory cost. Now you can play that. By the way, that means if it happens to come out of security, that means you get to play the Leomon with blocker, which will then, if it dies, give you 2 memory and get you draw a card. Opponent's turn. When your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may spend this Tamer to draw 1 card. Now that's very strong right there. That ability of when your opponent Digimon attacks, it's not attacking a blue Digimon. It's not attacking a Digimon. It's just attacking. Tap it to draw a card. Very strong for blue. Very strong for blue. We got Suzy Wong. On play, may play a Lopmon for your hand without paying its memory cost. Again, this is the Tamer you need for the Lopmon to recover. Again, this is really nice to combo with that Lopmon that recovers, because you play this and then you play the Lopmon base for free, and then if you're at 3 or less, you get to recover 1. And then start your turn, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, draw 1. That's really nice. You could probably play this in a yellow hybrid build, just if fract you hit that 3 or lower, gives you an extra draw. So, and that is start of your turn. So you'll go start your turn, you'll go draw phase. So basically you're getting 2 cards for the turn. Then we have Rika, which is funny enough, Takota is not a memory tamer, but Rika and Henry are. It's kind of weird that Takota, Gilmon's tamer, doesn't get to be a memory tamer. Then we got Rika Nonakawa. Again, she's a memory tamer. Your turn, when your Digimon with Renamon, Cubimon, or Renamon, Cubimon, Taomon, or Sakuyamon in its name attacks, you may suspend this tamer to use 1 option with plugin in its name in your hand without paying its memory cost. Again, she's about the plugins. Her whole nature was about optimizing Renamon so that Renamon can become stronger. Then we got Henry Wong, memory tamer. Your turn, when your Digimon with Gargomon or Rapidmon in its name, again, this includes Mega Gargomon because, again, it is Gargomon. It does have Gargomon in the name. Name attacks, you may spend this tamer to suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon. Again, great way to trigger Terriermon or Gargomon and Rapidmon's effect. And this also triggers on the armor Rapidmon as well. Which, like I said, the armor Rapidmon to Digivolve for 3 over a Terriermon. now is more relevant because now we have all this new Terriermon support. Now we have Ryo Akiyama. By the way, he's got the card in the Tamer series. They actually did play like a Digimon card game. It was actually the original iteration of the Digimon card game that came over here and was in Japan before we got this iteration of it. On play, reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 card with Germon or Justimon. Again, that Germon actually can work on Command Germon as well. Because again, it's Command Germon. It's just Germon. Or Justimon and its name among them to your hand. Place remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. This is actually really nice. You could put this in Command Germon. Because it is on play. And again, can play from security. Because it is on play to just get a Germon. Your turn. When your black Digimon attacks, you may spend this Tamer to have that Digimon get plus 1 KDP until the end of your opponent's next turn. Very nice effect there as well. I kind of actually like that. Kazu Shiota. Start of your main phase. When you have a Digimon with Cyborg or Machinist trait, gain 1 memory. That's really nice. Again, play this with the Machine Germon support. That will get you an extra memory at the start of your main phase. Both players' turn. When your Digimon with Cyborg or Machinist trait gets suspended by spending this Tamer, draw 1 card. And then you discard 1 card for your hand. That's actually really nice. I do like that effect as well. Really nice, nice Tamer to go with the Machine Germon deck. And then we have Alice McCoy. Now, this is a very interesting Tamer. For 2 cost, your turn once per turn. When your level 5 Digimon would Digivolve into a level 6 Digimon, you may delete one of your other Digimon to reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 3. That is not purple level 5 Digimon. That is not a specific name. It's not a specific color. It's just when a level 5 Digimon would Digivolve into a level 6, destroy something else on your field to reduce the cost by 3. That is very strong. Very strong effect right there, and just very generic. And again, it's your turn once per turn. Because you don't suspend her, you'll just have to remember that you activated that effect. But that's a very strong effect in my opinion. Because it is not exclusive to purple. Any deck can put her in it. And for a play cost of 2 to basically reduce a level, so you could basically swing, like say you have a jammer, swing that jammer in, it doesn't die, you can put down her, go to a level 6, pop your jammer that already swung for the turn to go into your level 6, and basically do it for free. This is a really good card. Really good card. And even like play cost, Digivolve cost of 4 Digimon can then be reduced to 1 cost as well. So do keep that in mind of just how strong this Tamer is. Then we have Ai and Mako. This is of course Impmon's Tamers. Of course, Memory Tamer. When one of your Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to trash the top card of your deck. Then if the attacking Digimon is Beelzemon, you can Digivolve it into Beelzemon Blast Mode from your trash for a memory cost of 3. Very strong effect because basically this already puts you to 3. You can trash it. And by the way, it's any Beelzemon can turn into Beelzemon Blast Mode. So even the older Beelzemon from Special Booster 1. That's secret rare. So really good card if you want to play Beelzemon. So overall, I find the Tamers to be really good. I think Henry's really nice. I do like a Ryu for like if you want to play a Command Germon. Kazu is really nice for Machine Germon. Alice is downright broken because she's just so splashable and everything. Really nice if you i.e. Mako are really good for Impmon. Takato is really good for Growlmon, as Renamon is really good for Renamon. Rika is really good for Renamon. And then Suzy, Jerry I think I find more use for just because of the fact you can tap her for whenever a opponent's Digimon attacks, so you can draw a card. But I think Kenta and Suzy kind of get the low stick for me just because they are so exclusive to their Digimon. Suzy really is only there to help Lopmon and the Ankylamon from this set, and then Kenta's just not really great. I think if you're going to play him, I think Blue Hybrid's not bad. He is a 2 cost, but I don't know how many Marine Angemon you're going to play. But anyways, let's get to the option cards, and we're going to start with our plugin option card. Start here with Attack Plugin A. If you have a Tamer in play, you may use this option card without means color requirements, so that's really nice. So look, as long as you have a Tamer. Main, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1. Very strong. Very, very strong effect. Just give it security attack for 2 costs. And oh, by the way, a lot of Rinamon's effects, I believe, was when you play like a 2-cost, gain a memory. So that's now a 1-cost to play, and then you'll get to be able to draw a card. Very nice. And then, of course, then also get the negative debuffs as well from Cubimon, Taomon, and then Sukuyamon. So very nice nonetheless. Security. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Tamer card from it. Add your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. And then add this card to your hand. Very strong. Basically giving you a Tamer so that you can use it without meeting a color requirement. And then adding it to your hand so that you have that security tech +1. Very strong. I think if you could throw this on like the Rapidmon. This Rapidmon right here. And if you had like say the Pseudomon under like a Mega Gargomon. That'd be really cool. Because that's already then 3 security checks at 13k. We got Pyro Spear. Main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. Not going to really happen, but what's really good about this for 2 costs is this effect then delete your opponent's Digimon, draw 2 cards. Very strong. This is also another card I'd say pick up for BT9 to go with the Gilmon, the promo Gilmon and Gigimon for the new yellow hybrid build that's going to run around with the red-yellow. But very strong card just for 2 costs to draw 2 cards. As long as you don't kill something. But I mean, you can still kill something if you got a problem with a rookie. And then security is activates the main effect. Now we have high speed plugin D. If you have, again, it looks like if you have a Tamer, you can ignore its color requirements. One of your Digimon gains jamming. Really nice. And cannot be blocked by your opponent's Digimon for the turn. That's even nicer. So you could turn just a big guy into a jammer. The only thing that will kill it is an option card. And basically make it non-blockable as well. And security, then you get to draw a card and add this card to your hand. These plug-in chips aren't bad, especially since a lot of decks will be having Tamers. This is really actually really good. I think I highly consider putting maybe a few of these in decks, depending on how the meta wraps up. Now we have Fist of the Beast King. Wow, a lot of these, the only ones that's like expensive is like Death Slinger. Other than that, everything else here has been 2 costs. That's actually really cool. Whatever Digimon with Beelzemon in its name in play, you may use this option card ignoring color requirement. Again, in the story, Beelzemon kills Leomon in front of Jerry, which is what causes Jerry to kind of go get depressed, but also allows her the D-Reaper to kind of infest her so it can leave the digital world and come to the real world. So Beelzemon takes Leomon's Fist of the Beast King, because in that era they were killing Digimon to absorb their data. Main, unsuspend one of your Digimon with Leomon, Beelzemon in its name, including Loader Leomon. So basically, it's telling you that you can also do it on this Liomon, or Loader Liomon, because it's actually not Leomon, it's a Liomon. But anyways, that's not bad. The fact is you could unsuspend one of your Leomon or Beelzemon. Not bad. Again, a little tech choice if you want to play like Beelzemon. Then we have Super Evolution plugin S. Again, if you have Tamer in play, ignore the color requirement. You get to draw 1 card, then you may Digivolve Digimon card in your hand with a Digivolution cost of 3 or less without paying its memory cost. Very strong right there as well. So basically, as long as it's 3 or less. So you can't do like reduce the cost and go down to like playing like a 4 cost Digievolution card. No, it's a 3 or less. So that's not actually that bad. Basically to draw a card and Digivolve up to like a level 6 for free. Security, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Then add this card to your hand. Really cool option card there. All the plugins are really nice. I like the jamming ability. Basically giving anything jamming as long as you have a Tamer out. Giving anything security attack +1 as long as you have a Tamer out. And basically being able to Digivolve anything with a shouldn't cost a 3 or less for free as long as you have a Tamer. And not mentioning drawing a card. Then we have Death Slinger. When this card is trash from your deck, gain 1 memory. That's really nice, just being able to gain a memory from that. Main, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards, add 1 to the maximum level of your Digimon. Digimon you can choose for this effect. So for a 4 cost that can delete up to a level 5 again, as long as you have 20 cards. Actually, no, this can go all the way up to level 6 if you have 20 cards. Because of, it starts at level 4. Under, like, I think Beelzemon starts at level... Yeah, he starts at, so Beelzemon starts at level 3, but his option card of Deathslinger starts at level 4. So for 10, you're already deleting level 5s for a 4 cost. That's not bad. If you have 20, you would delete a level 6. You'd have to have 30 to delete a level 7, but most of the time deleting a level 6 is good enough because that's the maximum level most decks only can get up to. Now we have blue card. Again, if you have a tamer in play, ignore the color. Main, reveal 5 cards on the top of your deck. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card other than white card from among them without paying its Digi-Evolution cost. When you did not do that, add 1 Digimon card from among them to your hand. Place remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Security, may play 1 tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. This is very strong. I'm not going to lie. There are many times where I think looking at the top 5 and saying, okay, I have this level 5. I want to Digivolve to a level 6. I'm going to play for free 3. Look at the top 5, and then I can Digivolve. Otherwise, you can just add a Digimon card among them to your hand. So, very strong. By the way, the blue cards were how the Tamers, Takota, Rika, and Henry were able to get their Digimon up to the next level to Ultimate. Again, Calamon had to be there as well. But I think that's a really good card, especially in niche circumstances. It'd be really cool to look at the top of your deck and be able to take one of those cards and Digivolve it over one of your Digimon basically for free. Well, for free over that for 3 costs. But yeah, option-wise, these are some very interesting options. We'll have to see how the options settle in, but I think, like I said, Pyro Spear is really going to show itself with the promo Gilmon and the Gigimon when we get the set 9. And again, almost all of these plugins are what Rika wants. So if you play Rika or Sakuyamon, you want to make sure you're playing all these plugins to utilize the most out of the whole Renamon line and Rika. Now we move into what is finally here, the 2 secret rares of the sets. We got Gallimon Crimson Mod. With Digivolve, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. So basically, just nukes the board of all the highest DP Digimon out there. Very strong effect. Very strong effect. When attacking, trash 1 card on the top of your opponent's security stack. Increase the number of cards trashed by its effect by 1 for every 10 cards in your opponent's trash. So this is really good against purple and like purple only. But the Gallimon, the original Gallimon that came out in Special Booster 1 did the same thing. So you can combo this Gallimon with that the Gallimon Crimson mode because he Digivolves over a level 6 for 6 cost. And then combo with that because again, it's trash. You can do trashing first. The trash comes first and then the check. So this is really strong against purple. So if somehow the meta goes all purple, play Gallimon Crimson mode because again, it's 6 costs over any level 6, red level 6. But I do like it. It's really cool. I love that effect. And his artwork is very, very pretty. I can't wait to see what his alt art looks like. And then finally we have Beelzemon Blast mode. When this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Really neat effect there. Again, the Beelzemon deck is definitely more of the idea of trashing. Again, I think Beelstarmon is not a bad combo of a deck. When Digivolve, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. That's really nice. So if your opponent's on level 6s as the highest level, delete those level 6s. And it's all just like what Crimson mode states all of the highest DP. Blast mode states all the highest level. Your turn, for every 10 cards in your trash, Digimon gains security attack +1. So 20 cards in trash, this Digimon's already getting 3 security checks at 15k. So, and again, you can reduce that for a cost of 3 with the Tamer. So, very, very strong. Overall, I think the set is very good. Now, not a lot of this stuff is going to make the meta. In my opinion, what's going to move to the meta is basically probably Terriermon, just because I think his green nature. I know Japan had a few little instances, but I could see it as like tier 2. But I think Gallimon might be like tier 2, if not teetering right at the end of it. I think Beelzemon might have to go somewhere. I don't know. I think Sakuyamon's not very great, even though for all of its things, it's got a lot of setup it needs. A lot of decks are going to abuse the fact of slow setup. I think it's tier 3. I think looks like a fun deck, though. But I think the deck that really is going to take a tier 1 spot in the BT8 EX Collection 2 meta is Mother D Reaper. Now, we're going to see how people build Mother D Reaper, because there were builds of yellow Mother D Reaper. It's the reason why Reinforcement, the 6-cost yellow option card, went to limited because of Mother D Reaper finding the gatekeeper and slapping that on the top of their security, and then that coming out, and then basically the Mother D Reaper, and then just sitting it there. And if you happen to be at the 7, yeah, the 6 evolution cards, giving that -1 security attack. So that's the reason why they made reinforcement down to 1. But I think you still play a black package in here. Like I said, Final Zubamon punching a Mother D Reaper to become a blocker is very strong, especially since this Digimon can't attack and can't be affected by your opponent's effects. So basically, it's unaffected, but it can attack. But on your turn, doesn't state you can't turn it into a blocker and block with it. So yeah, I think Mother D Reaper is really the only deck that's going to make it forward to the meta. I think if we see maybe the Terriermon tribal deck might make an insurgence. Some people are probably going to try to play that. But yeah, we're going to have to see how exactly EX Collection 2 wraps up to the current meta. But yeah, I'm excited because Mother D Reaper. But let me know, what are you excited for from EX Collection 2? Mother D Reaper, Beelzemon, Sakuyamon, Gallantmon, Mega Garglemon. What do you think the meta is going to look like? What are you going to play? What do you want to pick up? By the way, the box promos on here are all art Mastimon and all art Imperial Dramon from the BTS Structure Deck 9 and 10. The all arts we saw, what we knew we were going to get. So do let me know down in the comments what you think about it, and we'll see you here next time on P2 Plays.